Assalamu alaikum and hello my dear creators. My name is Razial, you can call me Raz. And I want to apologize that this video is unscripted because I was having things that came in the way, and I want to talk about the start of the year. I'll try my best to remember as much as I can because what happened is it went way too fast to the point where I have to sit down and try to remember, but for some reason I can't remember any of it, at least until the last few days. So I'm gonna just try my best to focus on the comic book development. Unfortunately, to this day I did not prepare anything just yet. For starters, I still planning the start of the comic book, of course. I kind of have planned in at first, but as I said, there's something came up. I have some like starter points where I can start with. For example, I know what kind of comic book I want, what the story is going to be, but doing them on like detail one by one, stage by stage, I still haven't got there just yet. For example, I'm still trying to think of a good name for the comic book and still planning the first chapter, at least the first few lines at least. Right now I'm still trying to think of the setup, how the main character is gonna start, or how the background is going to be, and how some of the characters gonna be introduced and whatnot. But unfortunately I got distracted because I got some commissions, which of course I'm not upset about it. I'm so grateful that some of you guys did commission me. I'm forever grateful for it. And to me, when I got the commission, it felt like a good break from the planning, so I don't feel like burnout. And right now I'm still doing some commissions while I'm doing my best to, like, if I got any sudden idea for the comic book, I just write it down into my plan. The issue is every time I'm trying to think of the comic book I want to write, instead my brain went to my other projects that I left behind long ago. Like something have to do with Halloween, something have to do with my very original comic book idea in the past. And I'm sitting here and be like, dude, I'm trying to focus on something very important this year. Why my brain just decided to went to that place? But regardless, I pushed forward to try my best to think about this comic book that I'm trying to write. Right now, I'm trying to finish some commissions, and hopefully I'll be able to finish them this week. As for why I did not post anything last Friday is because I was out of the city, and the place I was in did not have any Wi-Fi, and I did not rewind my data, and my data is very limited, and being away for 5 days from the city without Wi-Fi is soul crushing. All I could have been doing is just playing some games in my phone, which is not a bad thing because one, it made me fall in love with some of the old games that I could play offline. For example, there is this game called Flappy Dragon, and yes, it is a Flappy Bird clone. However, Flappy Dragon has something that is not like in Flappy Bird. That is, every dragon you hatch have its own powers. Some you use tab, like like in Flappy Bird, tap tap tap. Some of them do follow your finger, meaning you have to hold your finger and go up and down. Sometimes you can just let it fly, but I don't recommend that. And of course there is something called hold, where you have to hold your finger down for the dragon to go up and down. And let me just make it clear, hold control is wonky and floaty, and I've been struggling with it for many times. But what's great about this game is that not only you collect eggs, but you also can breed, and you can collect as many dragons as you want. There is also shinies feature, which I am confused. I still do not have any shinies just yet. I have this game in my phone for many years. Like maybe before 2020, I believe. I'm not sure. My memory does not do me any justice. But yeah, I have it for many years, and when I was looking up stuff online for how can I pass some quests, I found out that Flappy Dragon is turning 3 this year, if I'm correct. So I had to sit down and wonder why I was away from this game for too long. And when I returned home, my phone updated the game, and there is more things going on, which I am grateful for it. Like, they added more things into the game, like new stuff, new dragons, new everything, because for some reason it did not update before I went back, but now it's updated, which is a good thing. Sorry, I've been rambling about it for too long. Anyway, about the comic book, I was thinking maybe I should let you guys know about my comic book, or wait until I have at least something ready to show for it. My plan right now is to finish the commissions and slowly try to write some stuff for the comic book. But I don't know what happened to me the last few days. Every time I sit down and try to work, my brain just shut down. I'm not sure if it's burnout, but I do not feel it's that much of a burnout because I was away from my work for a while. And I'm not sure if it's some kind of creative block or show block or something. What I'm trying to say is it's some kind of block, but it's more about showing what you have. I would like to call it creative block, at least for now, because I'm not sure what is the correct term for it for later on. Now, I don't know who remember my earlier series, Where to Go series, where I talk about where you can go or where you should go as an artist or non-artist. I did list up some NFT websites, writing websites, banking websites, article websites. I even listed some social media websites, but over time I kind of gave up because this list cannot be done alone. And not to mention, every time I try to do it again, there is always new websites / social media / new place pop up. Like, for example, when I went back to check the list, it turns out there is also a new website for commissions. I believe it's Art Street. No, not like the one with the bird. There is another art thing. I really do not remember the name, but it was a website for commissions and you can show your stuff and whatnot. And seeing how every time there is a talk about where you post your art and whatnot, I just kind of giving up. I'm not saying that I will give up showing my art altogether. It's more like giving up finding the right place to show your art, because I feel like we kind of screwed in a weird way. Meaning, like, no matter how much you try to find the perfect place, it will change over time. Like, for example, when I used to start my very early days of art journey, the first website I ever signed in was DeviantArt. It was, of course, have its pros and cons. For example, the pro, it made me focus to improve my English, to be able to communicate, slowly learning about what to do, what not to do, art related and stuff like that. And of course, there's the cons where I was the target for harassment, assaults. Like, back in the day, it was very normal for someone make a journal call out about you and whatnot. That was in the 2010s and whatnot. And there was this block this person, whatnot. I'm not gonna get into it. It's very old thing and I don't think I remember that much about it. But yeah, back in the day, DeviantArt was the place. Then Tumblr, then there was slowly things started to change over time. Like, if I have to compare 2010s to now, 2010s did have its pros and cons, but now with 2020 it has more cons than pros, and I'm doing my best to focus on the pros more because I feel like the more I follow people who have this very con mindset, I will fall back like the rest of the people. Which, before I continue, I need to make that clear that everyone's worries and disappointment is valid. I just don't want to continue in this path because I feel like I've been in this. What I'm trying to say is, I feel like I've been in this sad path for way too long, and I feel like I should focus on myself and try my best to at least do some improvement with myself and try to at least reach to the point where I was back in the day with DeviantArt or whatnot. Which of course is gonna be challenging, but I'll do my best regardless. I think the point of growing your social media account is just keep posting, like try different things from your own OCs to fan art to memes to. I think there is a lot of videos that explain how you grow your social media or not, but to me, it's not just about social media. I want to share my stories, my creation, my everything, and I feel like if every time there's a problem with social media and I have to move, it just pushing me to failure multiple times. For example, with Facebook and Instagram, like yeah, it sucks that they are using AI, but I'm lucky enough to have Glaze and Glaze work on my poor little Surface 4, and I am grateful for it. Even though it does need more RAM, which is I plan to have a strong PC in order for Glaze to work on. Because Glaze and Nightshade are two strong AI poison tools for you to protect your art. And I always try my best to remember to use them, especially right now. Even though they do take some time because of the whole RAM thing and whatnot, and because my Surface Pro 4 is very old model, it will take some time. If I have the chance to change my Surface Pro, I will probably take the newest, but I'll need to check before I be 100% confident with my choice. Because in my mind, I would like to have a PC, because when you have a PC, it's straight up strong enough to handle anything. iPads, tablets, laptops are not bad, like they have their own pros as well, but the only con I have with them is the whole battery thing. And the reason why I say this is because my very old Surface Pro, I did see the battery getting swollen right in front of my face, and I straight up just shut it down, and I had to change it completely. And since that day, I was telling myself that I'm grateful that this thing did not blow up in my face because of the whole battery thing. So I always do my best to be careful with the whole battery and whatnot, and always make sure that I take something that's strong enough without being dangerous for me, and not have to worry about battery and whatnot. That's why I want to have a PC. Not to mention that getting a PC will be a good investment in my opinion. Not only that, I will be able to play games like any person out there, but also I can run my very heavy softwares, like the software that I'm used to edit videos and other softwares as well. Reminds me that some open source software are very heavy, which made me sit down and wonder why. Like if I have to compare them to other softwares, for example, Clip Studio Paint versus Krita is very heavy. It's very heavy, girl. I don't know why. And Clip Studio Paint is fine. I don't know if it has something to do with like the team or the studio where they know how to navigate about the size and whatnot. But I will check that later on. But yeah, this is somewhat the update, and I apologize that it doesn't sound like an actual update, even though I do want to work on my comic book and share some experience and tell you guys what I have learned and what I have not learned. even though there is literally other people out there who can teach you better. But I want to show it from a raw point of view. Like you can see it in raw, because sometimes when you go to YouTube or anywhere else, sometimes some people will not tell you how to do it, like it's fake, without making you feel like, I don't know, because I have noticed that not everyone is telling you the things that you are looking for, and sometimes when you are looking for something specific, not everyone gonna tell you. Sometimes I even ask ChatGPT for these kind of questions. Sometimes it gets it correctly and sometimes doesn't. Like for example, I asked ChatGPT a while ago where I can find a website for sound effects, and of course it gave me recommendations, which is, to me, it was a good recommendations. Then later I asked it, where can I find a place for voice actors where I can listen to their voices and whatnot, and it kind of also gave me some recommendations. But I don't always use ChatGPT because sometimes it gets shut down and sometimes not, so it became very frustrating for me, because sometimes I thought ChatGPT is meant to be strong. I did not expect it to be running on a server. Like, bruh. But with all honesty, if I ever gonna use AI or ChatGPT in any shape or form, it's gonna be just a booster. Not gonna use it in my creative journey like some people do. I remember Jazza did talk about they only use it to brainstorm and whatnot, which is not bad, but I feel like ChatGPT is very generic and very general. It doesn't always focus on what you want or focus on the thing that you wish you could see. Like people say AI is the future and whatnot, but when AI itself is so worked on or so trained on the very basic stuff and very mid stuff, it just make you go at least for me. I know there is people who use AI just for help them or make things better, or sometimes it's just to help for small things. Like for example, I have this AI tool where I give it my voice record, and turn my voice record into a script. And then I take the script and put it in my editing software, and it turn it into subtitles. I know it's icky. Like I know some people hate AI because those AI bros using it for bad things, but I feel like every AI has its own thing, and some is good, some is bad. For example, the subtitle AI thing that I just told you, to me it's good if you don't want to type down every word you just said, because I did have a software before. It's called Subtitle Edit, which in the beginning I did use it to put my voice in it, and it slowly changed making it a subtitle, but it kept changing my name multiple times, from Rosie to Mary to Rizzy to literally any name but Razial, and I don't know why. And I did not want to use any AI tool because 99% of them is connected to the Wi-Fi and you cannot use them offline, which is kinda suck. Because to me, I feel like AI can be very pointless if it's only on Wi-Fi and not offline. To me, if I ever want to make AI tool, I want it to be able to work offline as well. But until then, I will try to find other offline tools I can use without the need of AI, because I'm used to non-AI stuff here and there, but we shall see. There's a lot of talk about AI nowadays and it's hard to keep up. I just feel so exhausted, but let's just hope that this year is a better year for artists. That's all I'm wishing for, and I wish you had a better year this year, and I hope you're reaching to your goals and dreams. Without further ado, bye bye, be safe out there and take care.